What if you could manage your entire business in 30 seconds from a single daily email? In this video, I'm going to show you behind the scenes of a simple daily owner report. You'll discover how to build one and how to get it sent to your inbox every morning so you can run your entire business in seconds. I'll show you the exact metrics I track and why I track them. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Matt Clark, and I own 5 businesses that do over $100 million per year. And I'm the CEO of none of them by design. I learned this owner report from billionaires who manage dozens of companies, and it allows you to run a $10 million plus business in less than 2 hours a month. So let's dive in. So first, let's talk about the setup. I would recommend doing this in a simple Google Sheet, and you actually want a member of your team to own this, if possible, not you. You want it to be completely automated from your perspective. You don't need any fancy software tools to do this. But when I say automated, I mean somebody else is doing this every single day. It probably only takes them, 5 minutes to 30 minutes or so of their time. And they're sending this to you every single day. So I would start with a Google Sheet that tracks the key metrics that you need, which we'll talk about in a second. And what you want, and this part is key, it sounds simple, but believe me, it makes all the difference in the world. You don't want to be opening the spreadsheet. You want that team member, which could just be an outsourced person or whoever you want, or your bookkeeper, accountant, anybody, you want a screenshot of those key data points that we'll talk about in a second, emailed to you every morning, Monday through Friday. You don't want to have to go click and open a spreadsheet and look at all the data and all that stuff. All you want is a simple screenshot in the body of your email that you can open that email, same subject line every day, such as daily report or owner report. You open that up and you can see this data in seconds. Literally can examine this information. I do it every single day for my businesses. Takes me probably 5 to 10 seconds to look at this data, and I'm on with everything else. And I know exactly what's happening with my businesses. Second, the time period. So each day you want to get stats from the day before. So if it's Tuesday, for example, you're getting stats from Monday. If it's Wednesday, you're getting stats from Tuesday, and so forth. And then on Mondays, because you don't necessarily have to be doing this over the weekends, on Mondays, you get stats from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So every day you're getting stats from the day or multiple days before if it's just past the weekend, so you can see how your business is doing. Now, I would recommend making sure you get this email to you by at least 10 a.m. your time. The earlier, the better. Ideally, you can open your email box as soon as you open it in the morning, and it's already sitting in there. So I would say at minimum by 10 a.m. your time every single day. Now, third, let's talk about the metrics. So the metrics that I recommend tracking in this daily owner report are the end result metrics, because there's a million different things you can track. And I've had reports like this in other cases that had, literally dozens of different metrics we were tracking. And to me, in most cases, it was a complete waste of time. You don't want leading indicator metrics, things that lead into the end results you after. So leading indicator could be like, we got this amount of website traffic. End result is like, this is how much money we actually made. I recommend in this report focusing only on the end result metrics, because that's what really matters most to you. Now, there is one leading indicator that might have its place, and we'll discuss that shortly, but the core of the report is the end result, which is what the business produces, not what it hopes to produce. So the first thing I recommend including in this daily report is your daily cash balance in your business bank accounts. Now, this could include actual bank accounts. It could include your PayPal account, possibly could even include, like if you sell a lot on Amazon, how much does Amazon owe you? Because that's kind of cash that they're essentially holding for you. So any of those things is great. What you really want to know is how much cash do you have access to? For sure, your business bank accounts, for sure, any PayPal or similar accounts like that. That's what you want to include first. That daily cash pulse, you want to have that on your business, because you're going to be able to see when you're looking at that for a few seconds every day, you'll be able to see cash coming in, cash coming out, because you'll see the balance going up and down. That'll alert you to any problems long before they actually happen. Next, you want your daily sales. So like I said, if it's Tuesday, you want to see how much did your business produce, total sales, all channels combined for the day before. And I also recommend breaking that down by your top 2 to 3 channels. For example, in our e-commerce business, we sell primarily on Shopify and Amazon. We have some other smaller channels, but they're not important enough yet for us to break those out. When we go into retail, we'll probably have some way to incorporate that into our daily report. But right now, we for sure break out total sales and then sales on Shopify, sales on Amazon. Very simple, very important. And part of the value in this thing is looking at it every day, not building the most elegant report that somebody has to put together and things are always breaking. It takes forever for you to look at it. And eventually you don't want to look at it anymore. You want something simple and powerful. And so daily sales, if it's Tuesday, for example, you're looking at Monday. If it's Monday, you're looking at Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Total daily sales, and then broken down by your top 2 to 3 channels. Then I recommend including a sales comparison, meaning for the sales that you're looking at the day before, you want to look at those exact sales the same date the prior year. Now, there's going to be some variability if the days of the week change and that kind of thing. Doesn't matter. You want to be able to have some gut check, some instant sort of ability to look is your business growing or shrinking year over year? And if you look at this enough every day, you're going to get the right kind of picture. If every day your sales are up 20 to 30%, and occasionally they're down because you did a promotion last year that you're not doing this year or whatever, that's totally fine. But in most cases, you're seeing your daily sales versus the year prior up 20 or 30%, your business is headed in the right direction. If you're seeing the opposite, then that should make you panic a little bit or get a little fire under your butt to actually go do something about it. So I recommend taking those same sales numbers, ideally for your top 2 to 3 channels, and then having them compared to the year prior so you know if your business is going up or down. Now, the last metric, this is not meant to be, 52 different metrics on here. You only want a handful. So we've got daily cash, we've got your daily sales, and a comparison of those daily sales to the prior year. That's all we're including so far. You may want to include one additional metric. This could be a North Star metric for you, something extremely important to your business. This could be something you're working on a big project right now. You could be specifically trying to increase website traffic. You could be specifically trying to get more engagement on social media or something else in your business. So this is where you can include a leading indicator metric that may not directly tie to sales or cash flow from the day prior, but could end up contributing to that long term. Our North Star metric that we started including a couple years ago is our subscription count. We include our subscription count, the total number of people who have a subscription across all of our channels, but especially Shopify and Amazon. And we have that total number and also broken out by those 2 channels. That's a North Star metric for us because that gives us a lot of predictability in our business. It's something that we want to keep growing and focus on beyond just the sales and cash flow of where we're at right now. So I would recommend including one of those if you would like, and really think about what's going to be most important in your business. The fewer the metrics here, the better, because it keeps you focused and makes this something that you're going to do for years or ideally the rest of your life running businesses. So then beyond this simple daily report, what else is required to run a $10 million plus business in 2 hours per month or less? There's really only a couple things. Next is your monthly financial review. So if you don't understand what a balance sheet is, a profit and loss statement, or a cash flow statement is, you need to dig in and do some work on that. If you have a bookkeeper or accountant, which you should, then ask for their input. Be the beginner. Ask what you think are dumb questions. The more you can ask, the better. These are important tools of running any business, and you should know what every metric on those reports means. So you want to have a monthly financial package sent to you, ideally by the 15th of each month, and that would include your balance sheet, your profit and loss statement, and a cash flow statement. And I would recommend, at least for a period of time, eventually you can get out of this, but I'd recommend, at least for a period of time, scheduling a 1-hour review with your CFO or your main bookkeeper, depending on your situation, and any other high-level managers. If you have a business partner or a key manager of the business that you eventually want to replace you in the business, which we'll talk about next, have them on that meeting as well so they can see how the money in the business is moving, how it's performing. And so that's literally 1 hour a month. You schedule sometime after the 15th of the month. You basically get your financial package sent to you ahead of time. And then your job is to jump on that call and really ask questions. I think the lazy way to do it is where you jump on the call, you haven't looked at anything, and you're like, run through me our financials. I think that's a dumb way to do it. Instead, have already reviewed that information. Anybody on that call should have already reviewed that information. Then you jump on there and ask questions and discuss. Then the last piece of this, to run an entire $10 million plus business in 2 hours a month or less, is a monthly one-on-one with your key manager. Now, remember how I said that key manager could be the person you have on that monthly financial review? Eventually, you want to be grooming somebody to take over your role as the main manager of the business. You may stay the CEO, but you want the ability to have somebody who can essentially run the whole thing for you, so you can go away for a month if you're sick or if you want to do something else or you want to run another business or launch another business or spend some other time in a specific area of your business while the rest of everything gets taken care of, such as a new product launch, a partnership, or whatever, then you want a person that can basically replace you in all your main responsibilities, which is essentially being responsible for the whole business's growth. Cash flow growth, sales growth, profit growth. You want that key manager. Now, what most people do when they try to start hiring somebody for any role, but especially this kind of role, is they finally get somebody on board. Maybe it's an operations manager, and they're like, oh, thank God, I don't have to do all these things anymore. And then they basically leave them alone. They never talk to them again. And then inevitably, months go by, performance starts deteriorating. They freak out, they jump back in, they take over their responsibilities or fire them, and they're back where they started. The solution is very simple. It doesn't take that much time. Is a monthly one-on-one with the key manager, which can be as little as, 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes at max, once per month, where basically they set the agenda. And so you have them ahead of time keep a running Google Doc that says, here are the things I'd like to discuss, and make sure they send that to you at least a couple days before the monthly one-on-one. And then you're there just to support them. You can prevent 90% of the issues that possibly pop up when you would normally just abdicate responsibility and never talk to them. So these simple pieces can allow you to run basically an unlimited number of businesses in 2 hours per month or less. So you need the daily report, which is a dashboard for your business, allows you to get a pulse on the company, and you know what's going on before small problems become big problems. Then you have a monthly financial review, which allows you to operate your business like an owner, not an operator. And the numbers at the end of the day, especially if you're looking at the actual end result numbers, cash flow and sales, they're not going to lie. Like a lot of other areas of your business, where if you're looking at the wrong kind of numbers, you can kind of get a messy picture of what's going on. The numbers will not lie in your business. Then the last piece is to replace yourself and do monthly one-on-one, or even just short weekly sort of 10-minute one-on-ones, either way. So you're delegating, not abdicating, and you can build a business that completely runs without you. Now, if any of these numbers start to decline, all you have to do is solve that in your one-on-one. If you started building a person to replace you, you're going to know very quickly with your daily report and plus the monthly financial package how the business is doing. And if you've got somebody else running that thing for you, all you have to do is discuss with them, hey, this is what's declining in the business. What are you going to do about it? Or what do you need my help with? And whether they do a good job or bad job sort of helps dictate your next solution. And so if they're not doing a good job, then all you have to do is replace that manager. It's a pain in the butt. I know it's easy to say, just hire and fire and that sort of thing, and it sucks and it's not fun, but that is the game. You don't have to go back to doing everything yourself. All you have to do, closely manage your business, closely manage that person, and then replace that one person if necessary. And this is how you can build a business like billionaires do, like Richard Branson, like Warren Buffett, who are able to run tons of businesses without actually having to operate any of them. This is the system. So to discover the most underrated way to build a $10 million business this year and learn how to remove yourself from 80% of day-to-day operations beyond what we've discussed in this video, subscribe to my channel and watch this video next.